Get an inversion table.
We had one at one point.
I hear they're great.
I couldn't get back up. I was inverted, and everyone left me, and I was just hanging upside down.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's kind of funny.
Didn't I use it and Charlie freaked out?
Yeah. I remember hearing about that. Or was I there? I can't remember.
I think it was before you arrived. Because
Okay.
somehow I got to the house before you, and Corey's like, hey, I got the Jim's inversion table. You want to try it? And
Charlie's like, what the fuck, Andres?
Yeah. he was freaking out.
I remember that.
Welcome to the Dumb Trivia After Show, episode number 9. I have one more after this, finally. I'm just sure it sucks.
Yeah, it's a little grueling to keep up with it.
Yeah, I'm just not going to do it. We'll just go to something else.
No, you gotta.
Yeah.
You gotta get year 5. Then after year 5, we can do something else for in-betweener.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Large, small, in-betweener. Everyone likes a cleaner wiener. Do you remember that thing that was going on the internet? The wiener cleaner was like the circular soap thing. Everyone's like, yeah, that's what you use it for.
Yeah, I had one. It was
in a football.
It was in a football.
Oh, man.
Yeah, Dumb Trivia After Show, episode 9.
All right.
Our poor shower in Susquehanna.
Would never drain. Between the hair and the cum
It was a mess.
and the abortion.
Oh.
One time it happens.
Well, you know what? Guess what? Still clogged it.
Remember when Andres broke our toilet?
Yeah.
Oh, Andres broke our toilet. And,
Yeah.
Corey and I were both gone, and he didn't explain it well enough. And the way he texted it to us was that he
Well,
broke.
no. Corey was still there.
I was on
You
the
were
couch.
not there.
What happened was I was on the couch. He was leaving, and he goes, "Toilet's broken," and just walked. I go, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Won't flush."
He made it seem.
He just walked out.
In my defense, I did have a test that I had to take, and I couldn't, and I really didn't want to miss it because it was for a class that I really fucking hated.
And we never had an issue with that.
Yeah.
It was more the fact that he just goes, "Toilet's broken," and walks out.
But you did call somebody before you left, didn't you? I feel like at least you told me you did.
I don't know. Some poor bastard showed up. With
it was either I contacted maintenance or Corey did it for me because my social anxiety goes through the roof when somebody tells me you have to make a phone call.
I'll never forget the guy showing up with the plunger going, "Toilet clogged." I said, "No, it doesn't flush." He goes, "It's clogged." I said, "No, it literally won't flush." He goes, "Let me see." And he walks in and he goes to flush it. And he goes, "Oh." He goes, "Wait." He goes, "I'm going to have to call someone."
Did we ever figure out what was wrong with it?
The piece inside the handle, it was just a freak thing that happened to be when Andres was using it.
Before you continue, that is just my luck.
Yes.
The thing inside the mechanism that flushes the toilet somehow broke or something.
Oh, so it's easy fix.
They spent 4 hours trying to.
Did they?
They had to take the whole thing apart.
I'm surprised they didn't figure it out right away as soon as you opened it up.
The problem was because if you remember the toilets, they weren't like the type that you have at home with the back.
Yeah, they're the weird
It
ones.
was the weird where it was just a pipe into a wall.
Yeah.
Commercialized one.
I was gonna say because if it was one of those tank ones, I think we could figure it out ourselves.
Yeah, so
There's
we
not
had-
much to
we
go
had a-
wrong with
If
that.
it was a tank one and we figured it out, we could have probably just gone to the hardware store and
Yeah,
gotten
God,
the
dude,
pieces.
it's not hard. I used to fix them at Starbucks all the time.
Yeah.
So we had a broken toilet and a smoke detector that did not work.
Yeah, oh my God. For move-in day, we're moving in. The smoke
yeah.
alarm went off 3 times. It turns out it was coming from our room. And they were like, well, we'll have to disconnect it and we'll fix it. And they never fixed it. And the next day, they just came with a 2-pack of smoke alarms from fucking the dollar store. And here you go.
Yeah.
And we moved out and we're like, guess that never got
Yes.
sorted.
And then when we just took the ones they gave us down and turned them off. And
We lit bonfires. It was great.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. We lit the whole couch on fire. No one knew.
No one knew. It was a fantastic day. But I guess segue, couches on fire, civil disobedience. Today we're finally going to talk about a topic that I've been hinting at. It's a topic that I think should have been taught more to people in school because that was next episode. By the time you guys hear this, we'll be in the Poconos, which is going to be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Don't contact us because our phones will be off.
Yes.
Yeah.
We all agreed here that we're turning our phones off.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he already agreed.
Yeah.
So I'm going to talk to you today about something I think should be talked about more, and is the second largest armed uprising in America.
Ooh.
Goes Civil
How many
War.
arms? 1 or 2?
4. Like Goro from Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4.
That's a lot of fucking arms.
Right?
A lot of arms.
Battle of Blair Mountain, West Virginia.
Oh, right.
Part of the era called the Coal Wars. This was a battle between coal miners and coal company thugs.
Oh, okay.
Heard it was cold.
No, West Virginia. It was actually the middle of summer. It was disgusting.
Mountain Mama.
West Virginia exists because they wanted to be part of the Union during the Civil War, so they succeeded. But then the Union recognized West Virginia as Virginia, and that the Virginia that left, they said separated. So technically, West Virginia is the real Virginia. And Virginia is the fake Virginia because they were the Confederate state.
Yeah.
There you go. Late 1800s, coal mines in West Virginia were rough times. Essentially slavery with extra steps. You leased your tools from the owners. You lived in company houses, and you got paid in company money. They're going to be used in company stores. See how this could be a problem.
Sounds like a scam.
It's slavery with extra steps.
Yeah.
You can't get out. Your option is abject poverty in West Virginia or doing this job. So.
You can't just up and leave?
Because you didn't get paid in real money.
Well, I was going to say you can't. I mean,
it's monopoly money.
Essentially, you could up and leave, but with what?
Oh,
you had nothing.
Well,
with
there's the gamble.
Yeah, that's what you just the clothes on your back. So absolutely nothing. You saved no money. You have no player to go.
That's right.
That's fucked.
Yeah,
that
really
is
fucked.
So fucked.
There's just no safety regulations and no union representation. Well, that's a key point.
That sounds about right.
If unions appeared, companies would then send people in to just evict the people who lived in their company homes. Like, you unionize, get fucked. So your options, like I said, pretty bad. They would also just send like private companies after you. Pinkertons were one of the ones.
Ooh, okay.
The Pinkertons, if you do research into them alone, there are a long trail of bodies following them. We're not going to talk about the Pinkertons, though. We're talking about a group called the Baldwin Felts Detective Agency.
Alec Baldwin?
No, but people will be shot.
Oh?
Yes.
That's happened before.
We did talk about an armed uprising.
Yes. So United Mine Workers started organizing in a place called Mingo County, West Virginia. Mm-hmm. Coal companies did not like it, so they sent Baldwin Felts detectives, arriving first in a town called Matewan to evict the Union miners who lived there. Basically, they're like, get fucked, get out of our town.
We know what you're doing, get out.
Yes. The mayor of Matewan, Cabell Testerman, got a small posse together in the town and confronted these detectives at the train station. A scuffle ensued, and after the smoke cleared, 7 detectives were dead, along with the mayor and 2 miners. Thus begins the Battle of Blair Mountain.
Oh, this is going to be fun.
So the Matewan Massacre is what it was then called, caused a bunch of support for the United Mine Workers. And they just kind of swelled, and a strike began in the summer of 1920, because all the other mine workers kind of rallied behind it. So they were like, we're not part of the union, but we can still just strike, because the strikes just stop working. Yeah, so they did it. So the coal companies were like, cool, we'll just bring in scabs. So they brought in non-union workers to come in, and over the next few months, a guerrilla war was just fought.
Scabby the Rat wouldn't like that.
Scabby the Rat would not. Corey got to experience Scabby the Rat on public.
There's one by the CVS down my street.
Is there?
Yeah.
For who? Do you know who's?
CVS.
Oh, CVS? Are they trying to unionize?
Oh.
I guess. Good for CVS.
All I know is that their Scabby Rat was out there and people were still working outside the building.
Still working?
Like, there were workers doing work, and Scabby the Rat was just chilling out there with the people protesting.
Now, were there people doing work on the building?
Yeah.
So it was probably the construction workers were union, not the CVS people. And the people doing work were probably non-union, brought in to do the work, like scumbags. Christian Harris advice for you all: never do non-union work, because after the work's done, they're just going to let you go.
Isn't that what being a freelancer is?
Yeah, and that sucks. You have no real safety and usually get charged less.
Not in my experience. Wait, safety.
Yeah. Someone could come, like, poke you with a stick and you have no real backing. What are you going to do?
Andre, stop poking me with a stick.
Yeah, what are you going to do? Send Andre?
Oh, that's not a stick.
Oh, so those coal companies brought over non-union workers. And between the non-union workers and the detective agency, a small guerrilla war was fought. August 1921. 1921 of August. It was considered the tipping point when Sheriff Sid Hatfield, who was hailed as a Union hero after the Matewan Massacre, was assassinated by Baldwin Felts agents. Oh boy. The detectives just showed up and like shot a guy, which was something, again, you could do for some reason in the 1920s.
Yeah, it sounds like now.
Shit, I guess you're right. Yeah. Nothing has changed. So a few days after that passed, and thousands of Union supporters appeared at the outskirts of Marmot near Charleston, led by United Mine Worker organizer Frank Keeney and Fred Mooney. Remember these names.
Okay.
There was a march planned to Mingo County to free the Union men and confront the coal mine owners. These miners were comprised of mostly just regular folk.
Right.
Most of the regular folk, though, were World War I veterans who came back with weapons that they brought back, including Army-grade Springfield rifles and trench guns, which at the time would be fucking terrifying.
Also illegal, maybe? No. Maybe.
In West Virginia, I don't think they cared, because it's going to get real illegal real fast as this goes on.
I mean, it's just a pump-action shotgun, but still.
Yeah.
One of the more advanced weapons of the time.
Yeah. So there was a Baptist Reverend, John Wilburn, with the coal miner union workers who declared, I think this is the coolest line I think ever heard, is, It's time to lay down the Bibles and pick up the rifles.
Oh,
Which is a badass line. Like, imagine your priest telling you that one day. So the march would take them through Logan County, which was a coal company stronghold, to which the sheriff organized a 3,000-person posse of state police, deputies, and militiamen, stating that no armed mob will cross the Logan County line. In the time, they created a network of trenches and machine gun nests along Blair Mountain.
I'm sorry, you got World War I vets attacking you, and you create a trench network?
I know. In reality, you're going to create PTSD. These guys are sort of running through with brass knuckles.
Forget that. Forget the PTSD. It's just you guys built trenches and machine gun nests. I dealt with this shit for
I was going to
years.
say, yeah, you basically gave on their turf.
Yeah.
So those Union leaders, that Keeney and Mooney, when they found this out, props to them. They tried to call off the march. They were like, this is going to be fucking bad very quickly. And they were right, because it got bad fast. The ceasefire fell apart very quickly when 2 miners died after a skirmish with the Logan County Sheriff's forces. That led to 10,000 Union men gathering on August 28th, exchanging gunfire with the company's supporters. These Union men were distinguished from the others by their red handkerchiefs around the neck. Do you know what I'm going with that?
The rednecks.
That's where the term redneck. So there's two history lessons. Some people say the term redneck comes from the farmers, giving rednecks work in the fields. Others say they were the Union coal workers who wore rednecks and red bandanas around their neck in solidarity. Red being like the socialist color.
Okay.
Yeah. So there you go. 8:30. Yeah. August 31st. The Reverend.
That's myself.
Look at you. Context clues, bud. I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
You're a reading comprehension teacher who'd be fucking over the moon right now.
You were.
I don't remember a lot of my middle school teachers' names.
Yeah.
So August 31st, that Reverend we talked about before took 75 miners into battle against the Logan defenders. It coincided with a 2-pronged assault also going on the trenches. Didn't really work too well. The Logan defenders just had superior firepower, which included 3 private biplanes, which dropped tear gas and pipe bombs on the miners. Luckily, though, these pipe bombs did fuck all because it was in the middle of a dense forest.
Oh, yeah.
So if you didn't land right on the people, it wasn't doing much.
Yeah. Probably got caught in the trees and exploded in the trees.
Essentially, yeah. Okay. And the tear gas, I don't imagine hit the ground often because the trees also probably.
Well, I know the whole problem with using gas in World War I in general was that...
you had to rely on nature.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
Wind could either be your best friend or your worst enemy.
Exactly. So, a really dark line from it, though, when that Reverend's group met a group of the Logan defenders, and they gained a battle. Eventually, it ended with one man dead, another man dying on the ground. One of the Logan County defenders, to which one of Reverend Wilburn's men went up, and while the man was begging for mercy, shot him in the forehead, leading to what was described as like someone turning on a hose of water coming out of his skull.
Oh.
Jesus.
And I think this would also like to be a moment where everything you learn about war and like battles and like shows and stuff are not like it's not like glory. It's all bad. I think
it is all bad.
From what I've read, the most accurate depiction of war I think in a show I've seen in that era style has been like Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Like none of the battles are good. They're all terrible. People are just screaming and crying and like crying for their mothers, which is an upsetting thing to see a grown adult crying for their mom.
Yeah. Well, I think also in that for Game of Thrones for a couple of those pitch battles, they got one thing that they got correct was that when Jon Snow was like practically suffocating at one point because he was just like stuck in such a dense
throng
mob.
Of people. Yeah. I think another probably realistic show was Fury.
Fury was pretty realistic. That was
Saving Private
Ryan. Exact one. That opening scene is what I'm thinking of. Like that's war. It's not.
Yeah.
So even though like I'm like pro union on this side, I also am definitely with those union guys who tried to stop all this because like this didn't help anybody. It just ended up with a lot of people dead. This battle lasted from September 1st to September 4th, when it ended when President Harding sent in 2,100 federal troops to break it up. Much to everyone's delight. No one really liked this. It was bad. You were fighting in the West Virginia mountains against like essentially just like other people just like you. It's pretty stressful, not cool. We don't even know the death toll. Officially, like 8 people died, but from reading accounts, it ranges from 20 to over 100 people dead. Yeah, so pretty rough.
Well, that's I mean, getting back to war casualties, that's why there's a statistic of a certain number of people just missing,
gone. Yeah,
because things can get things get so intense that it's possible that whatever remains of a body you just have no way of identifying it.
Well, and you fall into an issue, especially on the Union side, where you don't want to identify a body because now you're implicated. If you go,
Okay.
oh yeah, I know who that is, I'm like, how do you know who that is?
Yeah.
West Virginia afterwards charged the Union leaders Keeney and Mooney along with 20 other men with treason, which carries a death sentence.
Huh.
Along with a couple other 100 men charged with murder.
Oh,
Okay.
Luckily, like, none of these stuck, and mostly everyone was acquitted. I guess under the grounds of this is all just a clusterfuck.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I
Did
imagine...
the treason
Yeah,
charges
they
hold
got
up?
dropped.
Okay.
I imagine...
Oh, they got dropped.
None of the people charged were probably on the coal miner side.
Probably.
I'm just going to go out on a limb because I didn't read any names.
Yeah.
So... Bad, like I said, bad side of that is a lot of people died, kind of unnecessary, and it didn't really do anything for the Union because it was a pretty much an abject defeat. I mean, they were fighting uphill through a mountain against people with machine guns and biplanes.
Yeah.
Didn't get too far.
Probably not.
Backwards in the snow with shoes.
2 miles both ways.
Right.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Good outcome of it is it kind of swayed everyone's opinions on unions and like why people need them. Because everyone's like, why the fuck do these people take up weapons? Like, that's why they took up weapons.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
and I think also part of that would have to be also like labor laws.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, that was the other thing. There were like no real protections. They were just working down in coal mines. And did you know in coal mines need to have a sprinkler system going near all times because coal ash is very flammable?
Yeah,
I remember dampen everything.
Really?
Yeah, I remember you mentioning
So
that.
you're just wet the whole time?
More or less. That's why when they come out, they look like they're just completely soaked in like coal dust and stuff because it's like.
I never really.
Haven't you seen pictures of miners? They're completely like blackened.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's like wet. Like that's why it stains.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Doesn't sound fun.
No, it's not. It's
Someone's got to do it.
I guess. Not real. No, wait, no, they don't. What are we talking about? It's 2022. No one needs to mine coal anymore.
Yeah.
No, it was bad. It was like I said, you had mine collapses, fires, and then, like I said, you came home for like no wages, and you went to the company store. They charged you like 52 Carlston bucks for a loaf of bread or whatever, and you're like, there goes all my pay. Yeah, not cool.
Slavery. A mine collapsing is like
right.
It like makes my like.
Did you ever hear the story of that British splunker who like fell down this like shaft and like they could get to him but they couldn't get him out?
Splunking is the dumbest thing I have ever
I love
seen.
going down like TikTok splunking holes though.
It gives me such anxiety. You ever see guys that try and fit through the tightest little holes?
Oh yeah,
underground.
I don't know if
that's splunking.
I don't know if you guys sent it to me or if I just you did. Okay,
did.
the one where it's like this hole was so small where this guy said if I breathe in I'm gonna get stuck.
And every time he had to go and drag himself through.
Fuck that.
Fuck
that.
Thank God I'm fat. That is not a fat
I was
man
gonna say none of us could fit through. Even Andres couldn't.
Yeah, Andres is broad.
I choose life, so that
like,
never would have even occurred to me.
Hey, if you ever want to watch a terrifying movie in that vein, a movie called The Descent about these women who go cave splunking and they're like, oh, it's okay, it's not a big deal, and they get in the cave and like a collapse happens, like, oh, it's fine, we can like go to the exit, and the lady's like,
I'm sorry, what?
No, we can't go to the exit because this is an uncharted cave. I thought it'd be a fun adventure. And it turns out they're also just cannibals underground. It's called The Descent. It's great. I love it.
No, I'm good.
So what happens? I won't watch it.
Yeah, I won't watch it either.
So the movie opens.
Spoiler alerts for anybody who were wondering.
Yeah, I guess spoiler. Dumb trivia. Movie corner. So the woman, her husband and daughter dies in a crash. So they're like, hey, let's go, like, get you out. We're gonna go like cave diving, spelunking. They get in there and like collapses, and they're like, oh man, they're in this open area, and they're like, well, we can just go to the exit. And the girl's like, no exit. Not. I thought this would be fun to do. Didn't seem like it'd be difficult. And they get all mad at them as they're going. They're realizing they're like bones and shit, and they're these like cannibal monsters that can't see because they're in the dark, but they can hear and everything. And just goes south. The one girl accidentally kills another one of the girls because she thinks it's a monster, and then another girl finds that and is like convinced like the main girl murdered her because she's crazy. And eventually the girl has to fight and kill a bunch of these monsters and kill that other lady. And
Could they see the monsters?
they had like flares and flashlights, but the monsters couldn't see them because they were blind, but they could hear really well. Eventually they got out.
So these monsters have been in that cave for a long time.
Yeah, they find like ancient cave like etchings on the walls and shit.
Oh boy.
Girl gets out. There's 2 cuts. The one turns out the other girl that was attacking her lives and kills her in her car at the end. And the other cut, which is the American cut, that's in her head, and she does get out so they can make a sequel, The Descent Part 2, which wasn't as good, but it was still pretty good.
I'm gonna pass on that one.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass.
Good
on
movie
that
though.
But we'll leave it to you. We'll leave it to you to be your movie.
Yeah.
That's Battle of Blair Mountain and The Descent.
Wow.
Yeah. Kind of a bummer.
For you, bud.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
I got one more for you next time.
All right, cool. Yeah, then
Maybe I'll do a happy subject.
Yeah, and then we pass on the baton to you, Corey.
Yeah. How do you feel about that?
I feel great. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet.
Honestly, you probably spend like 45 minutes total on all 5 episodes doing the research if you're like me.
It's up to you, man.
What topics do you think?
Well,
Body hair. Burping.
yeah.
All right, I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so hey.
Use your questions as inspiration. At least
true.
that's what I did.
Okay.
So hey, thanks for listening to Dumb Trivia After Show number 9.
Yeah.
Where Christian tells you about Union history. If you like that, tell your friends. Find us on iTunes. Give us 5 stars. Find us on Spotify. Give us 4.5 stars. Share the podcast. Donate money at ko-fi.com/dumbtrivia. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at CrimbusRimbus, where you can interact with me and other co-hosts like Corey, which is at...
Don't give us 4.5 stars on Spotify.
that's
I don't even know if you can give half stars on
don't know.
Spotify.
Give us 5. But you can follow me at CoreyW099.
And you can follow me on Instagram.
And you can follow Andres at...
There's no way this app will last.
Thank you for listening to Dumb Trivia After Show, Episode 9. Please come back next week where you will hear Dumb Trivia Episode 16 proper. We hope you stay safe, and we hope we make it back from the Poconos without falling down any holes and meeting cannibal people, or getting in Union gun battles.
Outro the roll.
It's Dumb Trivia, where the questions are dumb and the hosts are dumber. It's Dumb Trivia. You'll probably learn a lot of things you didn't want to discover. You don't win anything, but that's alright. You can look down on your buddies with your bragging rights. Hang with Corey, Andres, and Christian too. They're best friends, now they're friends with you. Knowing nothing is the only criteria. Come on, it's Dumb Trivia.